G'day everyone. On today's student success story, we're talking with Calem Cook, one of our champions graduates. G'day Calem, how are you going?
Very good, Matt. How are you?
Very well. And what we've asked Calem to share a bit of his story because it is an amazing journey that you guys have been on, you and your partner Jen.
Yeah, the main thing I think for Calem and Jenn, it's really interesting how they've integrated their new digital skills into the skills that they had from their previous life. And so this is a really good example of how you can take these digital skills and just run with them in all different directions. And so, Calem, just to start out with, what's your background? Where have you come from?
Yes, I've come from a corporate HR background. Recently, I kind of finished up in consulting, but was at one of the big four banks. Before that, pharmaceuticals, again, big corporate. And before that, mining over in WA, because that's the main thing you have to do over there. But it's all corporate HR is the main string that I've done in terms of my background.
Interestingly, so that's a good pay packet to kind of walk away from. What was your motivation to not be in that corporate world anymore?
You're right. Yeah, it was a huge pay packet to walk away from after that. The biggest motivator for us was it was a huge lifestyle choice. So even when we had that the corporate side of things, we travelled as much as we could, but it really came down to that 4 weeks a year that we could do that. Prior to kind of joining, working with you, we had an online store that was doing really well. And again, that was allowing us to work on our own time. But every time we wanted to travel, we had to shut the store down, and that meant the money stopped. And that's very much kind of how we came into working with you guys and where we are now. So it was very much a lifestyle choice. That's been the common thread through that piece and why we made the decisions we have.
And you now do this full time. So you've quit your corporate role and you're working from home, I take it.
Very much, yeah. You can see the yes, working from home. So that's all our nice wine and Scotch glasses there. But full time from home. So it's coming on to a year now, actually. So I've been doing this for about 4 years, but it's just on about a year now, full time.
And how are you going? You mentioned, you came from a big corporate pay packet.
Yep.
What you're doing now, have you been able to replace that income?
So it's been about, I want to say 4, but it's 3 months where it's actually replaced that income. So it's been a huge quarter, and it's just about keeping that going.
Yeah,
well
keep on growing. That's fantastic. And so again, it's interesting, Calem, how you have the direction you've gone, because not only have you got your portfolio sites, but also in terms of generating that high cash flow, you guys just went with the local business strategy. So building websites for business or consulting with business. Now, from your consulting background, we noticed you went a slightly different direction than a lot of champions who focus on quite small businesses. What was your focus when you decided, okay, I'm going to get into this and actually use my digital skills in this arena?
Yeah, it probably was to kind of play at that bigger space as much as I could. So I still do a lot of the smaller businesses just in terms of, where I network and everything. But the intent was always to work with bigger business. And I think the bigger picture for me was around, if I can work with a bigger business who engages with other businesses, that starts to create more working time, which is definitely what's happened in the last year. Versus working with a small business who might go direct to customer. Usually, even if the customer's really impressed with the site, doesn't open the same doors. So I probably always was playing at that bigger space, and it's an area that I'm comfortable with in terms of working with business owners or multiple business owners, having more sophisticated needs. So definitely was the intent, starting to pay off now. It wasn't easy at first, but I think that was very much what you're saying, combining the background of the corporate space, which I'm comfortable in, being able to harness these online skills, which I developed over a few years. And it's put me in a pretty good spot, but slightly different direction to some.
Well, and I remember it was quite quick from the time that you said, right, I'm going to do this and build websites for businesses. Yeah. Decision made by Matt. It was reasonably fast. You landed a pretty cool job, didn't you?
Yeah, tell us about your favourite client, which is my favourite client for your sake. Like, it's just awesome.
No, it was. I'd been out there talking to the more local businesses, and everything. And then, yeah, very much made that decision. And it definitely was under the encouragement of Matt. So thank you. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be here talking about these cool things. But it was, I guess I got to meet a production company. Someone that worked at a production company in a co-share workspace, and mentioned they've got a new show coming out on Channel 10, probably going to need a website. And yeah, they've become one of my longest clients, and we're doing a lot of work, basically roll on from show to show. And yeah, it's an incredible opportunity.
One of the things that we do admire about you and Jen is that, and you've said it on the webinars too, that one of your goals is to outcare other people, like the other web designers or other people that are competing for those same jobs.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, with these guys especially, because even when the next show comes up, it's not even a question of who should we get to do this. I know that I'm the first person on the email and phone. I'm there when they're even thinking about concepts of shows now, which is incredible. Wow. And that does run through all my other clients, because even if their friend or their business partner or their, someone that they know in their network wants a website, I seem to be the first one on the end of that phone, which has, I think, I back myself on what I do technically, so I deliver a good product, but I think the underlying tone is just having a complete interest and enthusiasm in what they're doing and what they're trying to achieve. And we're, as you know, we're in an industry that has a lot of cowboys, and there are a lot of people, unfortunately, ripping businesses off, big and small. So I figured, the one thing I can do, which, not too many people can kind of beat me on, is listening and caring and paying attention and doing what I can for them. So again, it's paying off so far. Yeah.
And delivering. I know you guys deliver an incredible result for your clients, and that's really counts for a lot. Well, actually, speaking of new businesses, I want you to tell the story of, because the other big goal that you guys had, like you said at the beginning, was you want to travel, you want the freedom to be anywhere in the world.
And I just think I've seen some of your posts, Calem, of where you're hard at work from. What parts of the world are you hard at work from?
Yes.
So Thailand most recently. We've launched shows from, so the network shows from places like the Maldives, Singapore, in Perth when I've had, so it's someone's got to do it. It's Perth when so they're all obviously holidays, Perth when we've had to be with family for things. So we've been able to literally take our life and keep things going, even when we've had the personal matters to do with as well. And that was, very much an intent of how we've built the business we have. It's very much around lifestyle, because we didn't want to have to keep going through that, issue of the corporate piece having to ask to leave, or the online store having to shut down the store. So it's been very, it's very intentful to kind of build the business we have to fit our lifestyle.
I remember when you shared with us Champions, I think it was on the Champions Facebook page, where you said, here's our first big corporate job, and here's where we're sitting today, type thing. There's a laptop. Was that in the Maldives? You're on a beach somewhere. Where was
Fiji?
Fiji, that's it, Fiji.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot that one,
Remember, it was your first big one, and then I think that's when the light bulbs went on for you, and this could work out well.
Yep. It almost made it hard to open. We still had the online store back then. It made it hard to open the store when we got back, because this was heaps better, obviously.
So, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people out there who look at this and think, oh, well, maybe you had some experience or some things that made it possible for you. What advice would you give to someone who's not techie now, who looks at this and says, hey, wow, this is a life I'd love to have as well? What's the secret? Yeah. Like, what do you think is the key to getting where you have now?
I think, obviously, picking up the technical skills that, we've learned off you. So bank that, definitely. And to your point though around, the question in that we do all have different backgrounds, and maybe someone might go, oh, but I don't have that corporate background. I don't have a consulting background. How can I do that? I'd say if you've come from a physio background, you've got doors you can open more than me. I can't use my online skills with physio. If you've come from a building background, that's a language you speak that I can't talk. If you come from a teaching background, that's a whole bunch of other doors that I could probably get there at some point, but those doors are so much more open to you than they are me. So that's what I'd go, is not necessarily emulate other people and think you've got to have those skills. Go, what's my background? What's my superpower? Now combine it with these online skills, and who can I help is probably what I'd say there.
Yeah, perfect. And because the more people you help, the more people you help get what they want, the more you get what you want, and you get more money and you get more time and freedom, and you get to create a pretty amazing life where you get to help a lot of people. And we can see that in you guys. It's the genuine nature of you wanting to help people, I think definitely shines through and will certainly serve you going forward into the future. So thanks so much for being with us today. We really appreciate you sharing your story.
Thanks, Calem.
Thank you, guys.